and welcome to day 101, I believe, of this spiritual awakening journal with me, Iona made. So I am going to give you a rundown of what I use for my spiritual awakening journal. Let me just grab, I don't even think I did it before I went on live. So the spiritual awakening journal, for me, it is about understanding the spiritual awakening process and how it affected me in my life, in my lifestyle, and in my light work. And so, what I wanted to do is create a spiritual awakening journal that actually managed my emotions. So today, for me on the Soul Legacy TV, if you're new to me, this is what I call Emotional Freedom Wednesday. So it's one of the days that I use for my spiritual awakening journal, and one of the prompts that I use for an area of my life every single day. So if you have never seen one of these spiritual awakening journals process with me, then I do have a playlist for you to actually have a look and see what you resonate with, because the emotional freedom is about manifesting and understanding the purpose of our spiritual awakening and what that actually does and how that actually affects our life. And so I don't have the banner up for today for my spiritual awakening journal. I don't think I did it, so I apologize. So one of the things that I have been doing is, hey love, hey Robin, how you doing? Oh, thank you for hopping on. So Robin, not if you're new to me, is our lead soul guided instructor for the Spiritual Biz YouTubers Network, which I'm a producer of, and for the SoulLegacyAcademy.com, which I'm the founder of. And Robin actually has a channel called the Energy Healing TV. If you're watching this on the Soul Legacy TV channel, you can see on the screen. So Robin has, thank you for the shout out. You're welcome, love. So Emotional Freedom Wednesday. I know you, Robin, you know all about this. And Robin does energy healing. She helps you to create a lifestyle around energy healing, and energy healing lifestyle, meaning that we are energy, right? And if you don't know that, as you go through your spiritual awakening, depending on where you are, you'll understand. Thank you, Robin, for doing your rating. You'll understand that your emotions are at the core. And when we think of our energy field and our chakras, you'll know that, or you'll learn when you go to Robin's channel, subscribe to her channel. She'll describe all of how your emotions get trapped in the layers of your chakras. And so you'll have layers and layers and layers that you might want to clear. So Robin will take emotional freedom to the next level with you on a Wednesday. It is solar plexus healing Wednesdays, right, on your channel. So Robin does a daily chakras. She talks about chakras every single day. So one chakra of the 7 chakras that are aligned with your spine. So for me on the Soul Legacy TV, it marries everything really beautifully. So this daily live is going to be quite a short live. And if you are new to me, the season that I'm in when I do my daily lives, and just coming back into doing my daily lives, I don't have very many notes or plans on this one. I am actually fostering right now, and so I have a young one at home, and I have an almost 5-year-old and a 2-year-old. So I want to be quick so you don't hear screaming, but I still wanted to come live because it's really important. And emotional freedom is one of what I call the 7 freedoms for intentional living. So this spiritual awakening journal prompt and process is for light workers to live an intentional life, and Robin supports you in living intentionally, and clearing the energy, clearing the emotions, the thoughts, the beliefs that are blocking you. When you go through a dark night of the soul, when you go through a spiritual awakening, it's not easy, and it can be an emotional roller coaster. So let me know how far you are along your journey. Oftentimes we end up having a similar journey, and we resonate with parts of each other's journey. So let me know, and I'll share a little bit of my journey as well. So Robin has rated her Emotional Freedom Wednesday. So you'll see on the screen if you're watching on the Soul Legacy TV. And if you're watching in the Soul Legacy Academy, then welcome. If you're watching in the Spiritual Biz YouTubers Network, welcome. So for Emotional Freedom Wednesday, rather than writing it all out, what we do is a quick abbreviation, and it's EFW equals. And what we do is we rate how we feel our emotions. I like to say whether we're in soul funk or in soul flow. So funk and then flow. And so we rate between a 1 and 11. Now, I have a spiritual vision board challenge that I talk about emotional freedom and putting the version of you that you want to experience in this lifetime. So when we do our vision board, and I'll talk about each area of your life. So the 7 areas, I call them the 7 freedoms. So emotional freedom is the 3rd freedom. So on a Monday, I talk about in your spiritual awakening journal, contribution freedom. Health freedom's on a Tuesday. Emotional freedom's on Wednesday. Environmental freedom is on Thursdays. This is what we talk about as we go through our spiritual awakening, and I'll tell you why in a moment. Relationship freedom Fridays, spiritual freedom Saturday, and financial freedom Sundays. So when we think of this rating between a 1 and 11, what you want to do is think about your emotions, how you feel on a daily, but also think about the emotions based on how each area of your life looks and feels. So when we do the vision board, we split your life up into different areas, and you set a vision for yourself. You tune into what your soul is calling you to experience in this lifetime. Oftentimes there's a big gap between where you are now, especially if you have a big vision. Everyone that I work with has a big vision inside of them, a big vision and soul mission. And sometimes that can feel heavy, it can feel ginormous. Usually people, I don't even know if that's a word, but it does feel ginormous. Usually people that work with me have a vision and they up level their vision, and they couldn't believe how small their vision actually was. Excuse me. But when you're going through a spiritual awakening, and you have that calling, you might not be clear on your vision. So we do the spiritual vision board so you can get clear on each area of your life. And then we rate according to how you feel from where you are now to where you actually want to be, what you want to actually experience and manifest. And in the spiritual vision board challenge, I go into really great detail on each area of your life. So when you're doing your rating between on a 1 and 11, how high vibe you feel, notice that depending on your rating, 1 to 11, mine is an 11. So Robin is an 11 for her emotional freedom Wednesday, which is amazing. Notice what is going on in each area of your life. I have a soul legacy wheel just to segment each area of your life. I call it a soul legacy wheel. So each contribution freedom, health, emotion, environment, relationship, spiritual freedom, and financial freedom. Notice how you feel about how you're contributing. I like to say, as a light worker, we're showing up, speaking out, and serving deep. And this spiritual awakening journal and journey and the whole process helped me see my life and each area of my life, and the areas that I had fear around. It helped me elevate my vibration to see the vision of freedom in each area of my life. So you might think, oh, so if you've gone through, say, contribution freedom on a Monday, let me know how you feel about the level of your contribution, the level of the difference that you want to make in the world, how you feel about your health, how you feel about your environment, how you feel about your relationships, all the things, whatever area you want to focus on. And if you're dipping in any area, then note that down, and we can set the intention to actually work through that. And so I have in the Soul Legacy Academy what I call the 7 Freedoms Frequency Call-In Gym, where I coach you through each area of your life. While you're doing your light work in the world, you're making your difference, I actually want you to have that light work and lifestyle balance. And at the core of that is how you feel about things. So I love that your rating is an 11, Robin. Every week we come back to how you feel. And so when we're raising our vibration and we're not feeling the lower vibrations and lower emotions, so emotions that feel dark and dense, when we're going through the dark night of the soul and the spiritual awakening journey, and when we're journaling, we can see face to face with how we think and feel, even if we wouldn't say it out loud. And so whatever you think and feel about whatever area, just note that down. And then when you come back to emotional freedom next Wednesday, then you can just see what you've done throughout your week, what experience. I talk about intentional living because we're setting intentions, and sometimes things don't go according to plan, and things happen, people happen, circumstances happen, get pushed and pulled by life a little bit or set back, and it can set us on a spiral to going down, to feeling lost, to feeling lonely, to feeling isolated, to feeling all the things, frustrated, anger, whatever it is. And then notice how you feel throughout the week, note what's triggered it, and then notice how you actually help yourself come out of that spiral and vibe up again. So hopefully that makes sense. So whatever you're feeling now, I use the Abraham Hicks emotional guidance scale to guide me. I don't always check it. I don't look at it all the time. When I'm doing the teachings or I'm coming to Wednesday, it makes me think of this 22-point scale, and at the lower vibrations are fear and grief and doubt and worry. So any area that you have grief, or for relationships, or grief, loss of whatever it is, it could be loss of a home, whatever, or if you have doubt or worry, or that's your go-to thing in a certain area, just notice that, because your emotions, your thoughts, your feelings are guiding how you act, how you show up in the world, and it guides how you experience the world, but it guides how you think and feel, your lens, what you look at the world through, and how you're engaging with people. You know, the perspective that you have. Sometimes your perspective changes, and you have a different experience, but the circumstance didn't change. So if you're feeling a certain way, you're going through your spiritual awakening, the idea is to go through that spiritual ascension, find the tools that really help you, the practices, the daily rituals and routines to alchemize your journey. So Robin says, and Robin's Energy Healing TV, again, Robin has an annual chakra journaling challenge to unblock your chakras. And so every day, then Robin focuses on the Energy Healing TV on your chakras, the symptoms of a blocked chakra, how to recognize when your chakra is in alignment, it is unblocked, and it's in flow, and the emotions that you might feel, the physical symptoms that you might experience, and the emotions, all the things that govern you going on the journey to being the best you, as Robin says. So solar plexus chakra energy Wednesday. So those are Robin's abbreviation, and Robin does the same numbers. We rate between 1 and 11 how blocked or unblocked your chakras are. So when you're thinking about your emotions, sometimes it might not be explainable. Like, you're like, I just can't put my finger on whatever is going on for me, but something's going on. It might be that a chakra is out of alignment, one or more chakras are out of alignment. It might, whatever that is, usually it's energy. We are energy. So solar plexus. Robin says, I adore you, such a beautiful gift you're giving those babies. Oh, thank you. Yes, I've been driving around, I've been doing chores and different things. I've got a date night today, so I'm just like, well, this afternoon or this evening. So I'm just like, I didn't do any notes. I'm like, do you know what? We'll talk about vision, we'll talk about values, and we'll talk about vibration, and we'll just flow. Thank you. Feels good. Lovely. That's really nice. Awesome. Thank you, Robin. Robin says, definitely, I've been able to see the unfold for myself, changing the perspective to shift my energy, emotions, and experience. Yeah. So if you know anything about the law of attraction, and I have this book here, and one, it's upside down, it's backwards. Law of attraction, the secret behind the secret. The secret behind the secret is vibration. And so part of my spiritual awakening journal and my prompts, what prompts me is listening to books, audible books. I usually I do read books as well, physical books, but the book that I chose for today was The Astonishing Power of Emotions. Robin, I know that you know that book, by Abraham Hicks, or Jerry and Esther Hicks. And they were talking about emotions, obviously, because it's the astonishing power of emotions. But the way that they explain it, like your inner being, your soul, source, guidance, um, you having your higher self, right? And so obviously we're in this physical body, but we're still connected to our higher self. And this spiritual awakening journal and the whole prompts is to connect back with your higher self. And I like to say, looking, once you've elevated your consciousness and you're awake or awakening, you look at the world through the lens of your soul, and life might not look and feel the way that it once did. And so people say the ego death, people say when you go through the dark night of the soul, that whole, all the things. And so when you look at the world through the lens of your soul, you don't necessarily get pushed and pulled by emotions so much, because you're witnessing them. And so they say that Abraham, Jerry and Esther Hicks say that when you are feeling a contrasting emotions, you're just not in alignment with your inner being, the way that the inner being sees the world, and your humanness is kind of taken over. But when you're feeling in flow and you're feeling good, that's how you're supposed to be feeling. Supposed to be, meaning it's fine to have contrast, but understand that it's temporary and it will pass. When I was going through my dark night of the soul, my spiritual awakening, there's many times, a lot of my awakenings came through grief. And grief can take you down to the point where you just don't even know if you are going to come up for air ever. And so whatever you've gone through your spiritual awakening, just noting, just using your journal. So I have a notebook, I call it the Soul Legacy Journal. 365 days of your spiritual awakening story, a co-created soul path to spiritual alchemy for Lightworkers. Write down how you feel, write down your emotions, connect every single Wednesday, and give yourself the gift of taking time to detach more so from your emotions. There's another book that I really love, is Mel Robbins, 54321. She does this thing where she literally just says, counts down 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then acts. She doesn't let her emotions take over, let her head take her out. You know, when you really want to do a certain thing, or you want to break a habit, a not so great habit that's not actually serving you, but you're all in your feelings. What I've noticed is, over the time of doing my journaling, I've noticed this about myself, and what I've noticed about others is people get all up in their feelings and they let their feelings. So this book says, let your feelings be your guide, but I don't think it's meant in let your feelings be your guide as in I'm feeling down today, so that's gonna snowball my life, and then I don't do anything, I never do my work, I never do my what I always say, for living an intentional life, we have those moments, maybe an hour a day, but we don't let it go another day, and a week, and who has time for that? So we're managing our emotions. Yes, let your feelings be your guide. Notice how you're feeling and see how you can adjust your thoughts to adjust your feelings and your actions and what you'll actually experience. So that is what I want to say about emotional freedom. What I do for the spiritual awakening journal prompts is focus on your vision again. So I have a spiritual vision board challenge, and I do have banners up in here to and comments. So I have a playlist for my spiritual vision board challenge. Don't even know where it is now. I've just literally put, that's not, oh yeah, there. So you'll see that on the Soul Legacy TV spiritual awakening journal with me live daily. Yeah, I don't say the time that I'll go live, because sometimes it'll be 11:11, sometimes it'll be later. Today it's later in the UK. But come and journal with me. It is for light workers to raise your freedom frequency. And by that, the frequency of freedom and love and joy and empowerment might not be the feeling that you're able to reach for always, especially when you're going through the dark night of the soul, when you're going through a spiritual awakening and you're going on and you're figuring things out. And it's okay to feel whatever feelings that you feel, but acknowledging where you are, for me, is a really good thing. I acknowledge if I feel a certain way, I voice it, I air it, I let the person, if it's around someone else, then I say whatever it is. Not everybody does that. I do share in a loving way as possible, that I'm equipped to do it in that moment. So I talk about your vision, then I talk about your values. I don't actually have the values that I've chosen for emotional freedom to hand, but I do share it on the Spiritual Vision Board Challenge. Being in alignment with your values, I like to think of your values or our values as your North Star. And so I often say on a Wednesday for emotional freedom, if it's not fun, I'm not doing it. Now, every single thing in my life is not always fun, but if I've got something living intentionally, if I've got something to do on a regular basis, like I'm doing my lives, if it's not fun, I'm not doing it. Usually I'm laughing and joking and all the things, and I'm not so serious with it that I feel like I have to conform in a certain way, be a certain way. If it's not fun for me, I'm just not doing it. Vibration. So we did the soul funk to soul flow. What I want to do is share gratitude. So every day we express gratitude for, now I have to find this to actually click it off. Every day we find share gratitude on each of these 7 areas. So we use gratitude. This is a love heart that my daughter actually gave me to say gratitude. We've done this for absolutely years. And the way that I say gratitude for each area of my life is to say I'm happy and I'm grateful and I appreciate. And if my lighting is bad, because one of my lights has gone out, I'm happy and I'm grateful and I appreciate something for your contribution freedom. So essentially, you'll have 7 things that you're grateful for from the 7 areas of your life that we focus on for your spiritual awakening journal prompts. So when I say I'm happy, I'm grateful, and I appreciate, it's meant to have your brain focus, mind, body, and soul focus on whatever makes you feel good, lights you up, a little thing, a big thing, what's been going on for you in the past, I like to say, in the present and the predicted future. Express that gratitude, whether you want to speak it out, whether you want to write it down. Gratitude and expressing gratitude elevates your vibration. Your brain can't focus on the negative and the positive at the same time. So what we want to do is move from what I call a poverty consciousness to a prosperity consciousness. And prosperity obviously is a higher vibration than poverty, right? So people say abundance, and I like to think of being prosperous, prosperous in our thoughts, prosperous in each area of our life. And oftentimes we might be lacking, is why we're here and we're going on that spiritual awakening, and we want to explore more and experience more with different people. And for me, not getting, one of the things for me doing this journaling process is getting to know me and my own emotions, so I can manage myself and engage in the world in a happier way. So you want to say thanks. I'm happy and I'm grateful and I appreciate something for your contribution freedom, something for your health freedom. I'm happy and grateful and appreciate something for your emotions. Even if you're feeling really down today, you're still breathing. Like somebody smiled at you, and it made you smile for even a second. Or so today, I could say I'm happy and grateful and I appreciate, although my niece, I'm fostering, but they're my great niece and nephews. I've had a lot of experiences with them today where they've laughed. My niece was just giggling. I was doing like her nails, like filing down her nails, and she's never experienced having her nails filed down. I did cut them and I was like, oh, I don't really, I'll file them. And she's like, I don't think I really like the feeling, but we were laughing and we were joking, and I was doing her toenails and like just making fun of it, and just kissing her feet and going, doing the whole thing where you go, and you go, oh, just making it fun. Like those experiences and just getting lost in doing the day-to-day thing, but doing it in a fun way, doing it in a light-hearted way, doing it. I don't always do that. I don't always manage that, but that is my goal. So I'm moving through my day, launching my day in the happiest way that I can, leading my day in the happiest way that I can, and leaving my day in the way that I feel happy and I feel good. I feel like I've accomplished something that day, whatever that is for you. There's things to be grateful for. So I'm happy and grateful, and I appreciate something in your environment, even if it is not the environment that you want to be in forever. What can you think of in the past, in the present, or the predicted future? In relationships, you know, sometimes we have the relationship, especially when we go through a spiritual awakening journey. And when I've gone through in my early days, I did not resonate with the majority of the people around me. My kids, that was it. Like, I felt crazy. I thought they thought I was crazy. It was just like, yeah. So relationships, think of something that you're happy and grateful for. Spirituality, the guidance. Thank you to the universe, always guiding us, always nudging us. And for our finances, whatever, whether that's find a penny, pick it up, whatever. Express something, or something really big. Let me know if you want to comment. Like Robin's here live, but if you want to comment on the replay, you can. Robin says, "Oh, how fun!" Manny, Peddy, and laughs. Yeah, exactly. It's like she just wasn't used to it. She's like, this feels weird, and she was kept jumping. And I'm like, it's okay, beautiful. So I was just like kissing her hands, and just she doesn't feel very well today, so she's at home, and her emotion, she's down, just looking at her. I'm like, oh, she's so beautiful, just so beautiful, and just the emotion. So I've got a 2-year-old as well, and the way that he's expressing himself and speaking, and just the new words that he's learning. My daughter took him to the soft play area, and he was telling me all about it, and I went to go pick him up, all the things. Just noticing in your day, like, what you're happy and you're grateful for. It might be moments with others, it might be moments in solitude. Just note down, and then when you look back, I wish I'd have had a journal like this, right, or a notebook, going through my 10 years of the dark night of the soul. It was a dark decade. That I've got a few of these now, and it is a co-created soul path to spiritual alchemy. It's beautiful. It's co-created with yourself, your higher self, but co-created with the universe. It's amazing. And sometimes we forget to be gentle with ourselves. So yeah, happy and grateful. I want to as part of my spiritual awakening journal and prompts, Robin, if you've got several devices on with me on there, say hi if you're online. So we're on emotional freedom. It's weird when more than one person is on, and then you don't see any comments or what have you. It's thrown me the whole live, but I suppose it's something that I will get used to. So what I want to wrap up with, and what I usually say, and I'll go more in depth on environmental freedom Thursday. You see that too, and it's not you, is it not? On a different device? Yeah, it's from me. Say hi. I won't bite, I promise. If you've watched this long, I'd love to know. And sometimes StreamYard has a techie glitch, so if you're watching somewhere other than on the, because I post this I haven't recently, actually, in the Telegram channel for the Spiritual Biz YouTubers Network, in the Soul Legacy Academy, on my playlist, and so I can't always see the comments. It's not on any of the socials right now. But yeah, do say hi, because if I have technical glitches, I'm not ignoring you. So with the Soul Legacy Journal and the Spiritual Awakening Journal prompts, the last thing that we wrap up on a daily basis is with my vibrational money voucher. So if you've gone through the spiritual vision board, and let me know. I know, Robin, you'll be doing the spiritual vision board challenge again. I do it live on the second week in December, and then we actually so there's replays for that, and then this journaling process is a follow-up from my vision board challenge. So I've broken each area down into the 7 freedoms for intentional living for light workers, and then this journey is actually helping you through the spiritual awakening process. So hopefully that makes sense. So part of that is having financial freedom, right? So we talk about the 7 freedoms. So we said, I'm happy and grateful and appreciate contribution freedom, health freedom, emotional freedom, environmental freedom, relationship freedom, spiritual freedom, and financial freedom. And for the financial freedom piece, a lot of us light workers get hung up on the money. Like, we don't do what we do for the money. However, in order to have that light work and lifestyle balance, like, I've got 3 children with me under 5, and my daughter's 19. My son passed 7 years ago. He would have been 27, and I have my granddaughter. Not having finances over the course of my own children's life, it burns me now, because I just didn't figure things out and was at the vibration saying money didn't matter, to the point where I was homeless and bankrupt and took those children and dragged them through all kinds of things. Having my great niece and nephew, having 3 children under 5, I want to actually pass them on the energy of they are worthy. A lot of us don't feel worthy of experiencing luxury in life, experiencing really great things in life. When we have our vision board and we put those things on our vision board and we don't feel worthy of manifesting, we don't feel the emotion, the vibration of our vision, we don't manifest, we just stay stuck. So I wanted to pass on a great energy and a great belief of themselves. And so it costs money. If you've got children, costs a lot. 3 under 5, listen, let me tell you, and they're a family of 5, right? And so today the little girl, she didn't feel that well, and I was like, okay, she doesn't have a dressing gown yet, and I got them all dressing gowns, just a little thing like that. And it's like, and the shop, so it bumped up the shopping bill. It wasn't planned, but being able to do that in that moment. So when we came home, she's like, can I wear my dressing gown and snuggle up in it? Which you think, oh, well, what's money got to do with it? Well, it costs money for 3 dressing gowns. It's just a basic thing. There's times when I didn't have that in my purse, right? I didn't have that in my bank. I didn't have. And so when you think of, oh, well, I'm a light worker, but I'm not really doing my light work, and I'm not really in business, and you don't want to do a soul sucking day job and work for somebody else and be told what to do, what are you going to do? So having financial freedom for your family, being able to go into a shop and say, oh, well, we'll get this for you, and let a child have an experience where they're now, she's probably too hot actually, but warm and snuggly in something that's just been bought, especially, do you know what I mean? Like, people have that experience of money, or, well, it's too much money, or like, oh, you're greedy for wanting the money. No, I want to have experiences. So part of the freedoms is financial freedom. The more we contribute, the more financial freedom you should be receiving, allowing into your life. I'm good with having money, and I'm good with getting better with money. Getting good with money is a book that I'm reading. So we have a vibrational money voucher, all that to say, as part of our spiritual awakening journal prompts. On my spiritual awakening journey, the painful things that you go through, the contrast, I was financially bankrupt. That is not, it's not cool. It's just not. If you've ever been close to it, not being able to pay your mortgage or your rent, not being able to feed yourself, that is called a money block. That is called energy blocks in your chakras, root chakra, wherever chakra, right? And so Robin will help you deal with the chakra. Robin's align your chakras. So Robin, what do you say? Do you say alignment? Because I think we've had this conversation before, because I'm like, I feel like alignment's a good word, but I don't know what you say for when your chakras are not blocked and they're flowing. Can you please give me a word that you would use? And if it is alignment and you're good with that, then that's cool. So Robin will help you. Robin's actually got a 5-day money blocks clearing challenge, and Robin calls it a self-love journey to financial freedom. And it is self-love. It is that healing journey of the thoughts, the feelings, and the beliefs that are not true. They're not serving us in business. Getting being in alignment with your vision and your vision board, even though it's a spiritual vision board, it will have things on there that cost money. I want to have experiences. I want to travel. I want to have time, energy, and money to be able to, be there for my family. So we need money. So the Soul Legacy Journal is a magical journal. Robin says I use a few words: clear, balance, align, underline. So when your chakras are clear, that's it. When they're balanced, love it. Thank you. Over this last couple of days, when I've been coming back onto the lives, I'm like, I know you don't describe things in the same way as I do, because you've got your you like I for me, my soul funk and soul flow, and you talk about gonk, and I really want to use the words that you use to describe that. So clear and balanced is lovely. Thank you. Alignment is fine, love. Oh, thank you, love. Because it's like that realignment and that readjustment. So I know that the 7 main chakras that are aligned with the spine. So anyway, so Robin's got her money blocks challenge to alter your thoughts, your feelings, and your beliefs, your habits, your experiences, what you're going to do to actually earn the money as a light worker, and just adjusting your perspective. So this, to help you, the Soul Legacy Journal with the Spiritual Awakening Journal prompts, that is one of the ones that I challenge you to do. And I say, banking 50K in 50 days, that's the challenge for the Spiritual Biz YouTubers Network students. If you come to my masterclass, I'll talk about it more. Banking 50K in 50 days in the real world is like, what? But people say, oh, I want to be a millionaire, I want to be blah, blah, blah. And it's like, do you know how much that is a month, a day? Like, most people don't do the maths. So we do it with a vibrational money voucher first. We do it vibrationally, manifesting the money. So with your spiritual vision board, in order for you to feel, bridge that gap, in order for you to feel the vision, the version of you now, I help you with purchasing the experiences, whatever it is. Whether we want to have a retreat in Thailand, and we want to travel, Robin wants to have a RV life, and I want to have van life. That van life costs a lot of money, but it's not the van, it's the travel and the experiences. So I'm good with feeling the feelings of having that van life and having date nights, and we want to go out for to eat later. It costs money. Do you know what I mean? It costs money. So spend your vibrational money voucher. The Soul Legacy Journal gives you every single day. It's £1,000, dollars, or euros for you. I love it. It's something that I've been doing for a while now. I first developed the Soul Legacy Journal about 3 years ago, even maybe 3.5 years ago. And I've been using the vibrational money voucher for maybe a couple, I don't know, more than a couple. And I love it. And money's flowing in, money's flowing out, in the most beautiful and magical ways. And one of the things that I've learned over the time with the vibrational money voucher is what I asked was, so I went through my spiritual awakening, my spiritual ascension, my spiritual alchemy. As part of the spiritual alchemy process is, how do I give my gifts in the world to be of value, 10 times the value that I ever ask for money, so I feel good with it? And how do I serve in a way that would be $50,000 worth of value? And I did a tapping by Margaret Lynch, and she talks about offering tapping for 50K. That's where I got the idea. And she said, how can I give that value? How can I serve? So instead of saying, oh, well, that's a lot of money, if you've got a big vision and mission, how can you bring it to fruition? Build a spiritual business model so you can serve and actually challenge yourself to bank 50K in 50 days. But do it vibrationally first. Experience the version of you. Tithe 10% of that £1,000, dollars, or euros every single day. That's a requirement. It's a rule. You might not like rules, but that's a rule that the Soul Legacy Journal gives you, to a worthy cause. And my worthy cause is Cruise Bereavement Care, because they supported me and I wanted to give back. After my son passed, I had a volunteer sit on this couch for like 6 months. It was way longer than what she was originally assigned to. But my emotions, going through a spiritual awakening, through grief, get the help and support that you need emotionally. I said before, the walls cave in on me. So I was really fortunate enough to have that help and that support. Robin says, you do an amazing job at describing my stuff. Oh, thank you, love. You actually amaze me. Do I? I don't remember the exact words you use. Thank you. I love you. You're amazing. Robin is, again, our lead soul guided instructor, but beyond that, we have a joint vision, and beyond that, we're soul sisters. And so that emotional connection that we have actually fuels our work. And so then we come and we show up, speak out, and serve deep. Robin says, I said it too until I tried to spend $1,000 a day. I didn't realize how hard and uncomfortable that felt. Exactly that. So the emotions that you have around spending, not even just the emotions that you have around receiving, right? When I learned about the flow, the energy flow of giving, because you want to give, right? Overgive. And that's what Margaret Lynch talks about, not overgiving. But then receiving, it's like, whoa. But when you do actually receive, and when you do play this game, I call it a soul income game. When you do play this game, it amazes you that what is actually coming up, the emotions that are coming up. But then when you get in tune with it, it's freeing. And it's like, oh, I can pay. Oh, you know, when you're like, well, I don't do what I do for the money, that's fine. But it's not like you don't need any money to live and to be in the physical world. It's not about being a martyr. I think a lot of light workers want to say, well, I'm beaming light in the world and blah, 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 and that's fine and that's great and that's what we're here for. But you're not really that beacon of light when you're vibrating at a lower frequency and you're in fear, because you're vibing so low that you're not actually experiencing and being the best version of you. Because we're not here, we haven't incarnated on the earth to be in a lower vibration in fear for extended periods of time, because that's where the depression, anxiety, and all the things come around. So I'm just saying, when I was bankrupt and I was homeless, do you think that that felt good? Absolutely not. Was I in fear? Was I, do you know, all those things? And if I had the vibration and the thoughts and the alignment that I have now, and I only have that now because of that contrast, that's how I built my business on those experiences. But I could never be in that place anymore because my vibration has altered. My spiritual awakening has taken me to a completely different level. It's freedom, baby. It's the freedom. 100% love our soul journey together. It's beautiful, isn't it? Robin says, absolutely. Bank 50K in 50 days. Help increase my self-awareness around money, receiving, and even how I view myself. Yeah, feeling worthy. And it's helped me. The Bank 50K in 50 days challenge has helped me build a business model. If you imagine like your pricing, right, as a light worker doing your light work in the world, if you've got your spiritual business or you want to start one, and your pricing, whatever your pricing is, when you start, when I do this on my intake form, if you take your pricing and you say, well, this is the one-on-one sessions that I teach to do to create passive income streams and work one-to-many, not one-on-one. But a lot of people that come to me initially work one-on-one, and your pricing, your model soon burn you out. You soon feel like absolute crap about it, and you go, well, I can't possibly. There's a ceiling on your income. There's a ceiling on that much time. So if you've got an annual income goal, and it takes so much to travel, it takes so much to do whatever it is that you want to do, or even run your household, and you don't want to have your income be received through a soul-sucking day job or the government or a spouse or whatever that is, and it's your own business that you want to be that vehicle as your light work, as you're a light worker doing your light work, try do your pricing structure and see how you feel about working all those hours one-to-one. And it's like, oh, it had me, the Bank 50K in 50 days challenge and the vibrational money voucher had me see how I needed to structure my business. And I know that what I need to have students enroll, or what I need to sell, never sell, I just enroll, in order to bank that 50K in 50 days. It helps you to detach from, yes, our business is us, but when you earn passive income streams and you create courses and coaching programs, it becomes much easier to see yourself as the version of you on your vision that's able to sell your courses, and then know, oh, well, if I sold so many courses, I sold so many boot camps, so many masterminds, this is how I bank 50K in 50 days. And I talk about that on my masterclass, the Spiritual Biz YouTubers Masterclass. And I support you in the Bank 50K in 50 days challenge. Robin says that ceiling then blocks your ability to serve the way that you want, because you have to get the side job to pay your bills 100%, so that you can't offer the time and energy you desire 100%. And most of us want to reach millions and millions and millions of people. I can hear little footsteps. We want to reach millions and millions of people, and we can't serve those millions and millions of people one-on-one. It's like when I ask any of my students, any of the people that I've ever interviewed, they have the burning desire to help as many people as they can reach. However, emotionally, you will be burnt out if you try and serve a lot of times for the current business model that you actually have. So I encourage you in the Spiritual Biz YouTubers Masterclass to build a business model that can handle your big vision and mission. So that is it for the Spiritual Awakening journal process. I have I host the #1 Spiritual Awakening annual YouTube summit. I don't think I've mentioned that yet. Where we use this journaling process and the spiritual journaling prompts from others who've shared their spiritual awakening story and their spiritual alchemy, their spiritual ascension journey and their spiritual alchemy, how they've alchemized their awakening, how they've alchemized their gifts, how they've honed their craft, they've remembered who they are, and they come to serve. So we'll use this whole daily process to actually do that. So if you are watching this and you're part of the summit, it's going to be October through to April on the 2 middle Wednesdays of the month. Season 1, which is 2022, October 2022, is being pushed back to November 2022. It is at 9 a.m, 3 p.m, and 9 p.m. Watch out for that. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. I'd love to have a conversation, and I'd love us to come together as a collective to have a collective conversation and raise our vibrational frequency. As I say, the cheers to financial freedom frequency, because that emits such an energy, such a force that actually changes worlds. And I feel like getting together and not thinking that we're crazy, not just normalizing the spiritual awakening. We are souls having a human experience, right? And so when we get that and we're aware of that, it's like, oh, I'm not crazy. Because first you think you're crazy, and then you go, well, I'm not crazy. And people that are asleep are just asleep. And so I also have a co-authored book series for the Soul Legacy Journal. This is the notebook to it, but I have, it's called the Soul Legacy Journal, Spiritual Awakening Stories of 365. And you can, if you're a soul match, if you're a spiritual business owner, if you're a light worker, hey, I love that. I've been paid £86 from Canva. Thank you very much, Canva. I love receiving and the money. That's made me smile. Like, I received money, I did spend it, and I've received it back. So I love it. I'll talk about the money more on Financial Freedom Sunday. So that is it. Robin, I've enjoyed spending this time with you. Thank you so much. I really appreciate you jumping on with me again. I didn't really prep because I wouldn't even say have time. I was just doing other things. But I love this awakening journal, and I love that's what lights me up. That emotionally, when I open my eyes, I think of my soul work. I'm like, it's amazing to me. If you've been watching me the whole time and not commenting, or you're commenting somewhere else, get in touch. Let me know how you feel. Move forward with me in whatever way. You'll see in the comments, in the description, in the pinned comments, a way for you to move forward. There's a playlist. Subscribe to the channel. Do what you need to do, but definitely get out of your own way. Don't stay stuck. Don't stay behind closed doors. Don't stay silent. I want to hear from you, because your voice actually matters just as much as anyone else's, just as much as mine. Everyone says, thank you for being here, for being you and sharing with us. Oh, I love you, my soul sister. Thank you for every single day. Robin and I talk not always on the phone, not on the phone for a while actually, but every single day you're in my thoughts, you're in my energy, and we're co-creating a beautiful space to serve. So thank you, Robin. Right, much love, and I shall speak to you soon. I shall see you on the next one. Enjoy your journaling. If you haven't done the vision board challenge, go and do it. Love you. Take care.